What is up, guys? Welcome back to Millennial Hollywood Season 1, Episode 3. Today we have two very special guests, Meghan Rienks and Jack Ferry. Stay tuned.
Welcome to Popcorn Talk, featuring movie discussion, news, and interviews. Popcorn Talk. We talk movies.
Hello, and welcome to Millennial Hollywood Season 1, Episode 3. Welcome. And guys, we have a very, very special guest today. Someone who's entertained us for so long now, between her widely popular YouTube channel and her aesthetically pleasing Instagram, as well as her role on Hulu's Freakish. We have Meghan Rienks in the studio. Welcome.
Thank you for that intro. That was
Of course.
great. Can you follow me everywhere with that?
Yes. Just come up behind you and be like, everyone.
Hey, it's Meghan. Wow. Wow.
So how are you today?
I'm good. I'm a
Good.
little tired. I was telling you earlier that I stayed up way too late last night watching videos of Ryan Reynolds and Jake Gyllenhaal. They have a new bromance from their new movie.
Yes.
And it's amazing.
I'm gonna have to check this out because you were telling me about this. I had no clue. I'm behind on the times right now.
I'm ahead of the time. I'm spending way too much time on EllenTube, so
Ellen Tube, yes.
yeah, I just get like I watch a lot of Kid Scientists, and then it got to like all
And then
the
it gets
other random things.
So once you click on one thing, it just it
Yeah.
goes. Yeah. I'm actually seeing Ellen on Tuesday.
So fun.
I'm so excited.
Oh my gosh, my friend used to work there.
Oh, cool. Did
Yeah.
you ever go to see her or no?
No, now I know her post her working there, and I'm like, so can we like go on Ellen?
Yes.
Like, I just want to go. Honestly, I want to go. They have like a Bachelor cubicle talk thing.
Oh, yeah.
And I really want to go on that, and that's like her best friend. And she was like, I'm not gonna let her. This thinks she's famous. We can't do that. I was like, but I want to go. So
That would be so much fun.
And talk about the Bachelor.
Exactly. And where can everyone follow you on social media?
Just at Meghan Rienks for a majority of things, except
Okay.
for Snapchat, which is Meghan, which
Okay.
is stupid because I have Meghan Rienks, but I don't know the password anymore.
And you're just like,
And
here we go. And
yeah.
all the followers are already on this one.
Yeah,
so.
and I'm just, I messed up. I done goofed, but
You know what?
I gotta move past.
The same thing happened to me with my Snapchat, but it's okay. So let's talk about YouTube right now. We have some amazing photos of some of your cover photos of these. I am obsessed with your videos. They're so funny. I think one of them we have is like the Coachella haul.
Oh, yes. I look back at that video and I was like, I don't know what I was doing differently with my face, but I looked so much cuter then. I think I was also super tan. But
Yes.
I wish I regularly look back on that video and I was like, what happened to me? I was so cute.
Yes.
Right? I mean,
Right? Yeah, exactly. Okay,
Right? I'm
this little
tan.
head thing. How do you keep the head thing on? Is it like
jump
strapped?
cuts, a lot of jump cuts. I think no, I didn't make that. Maybe I did make that. I was DIY for a while.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
I think I probably just like didn't move my head a ton. And
Okay.
I was just kind of
Just like stiff.
hey guys, thank you so much for watching my Coachella haul. Like,
Yes.
today I bought this.
It was very stiff. I love
Yeah.
it. And then the next one we have. Okay, so there was this. Okay, when you did like the vlogs.
Yes. The
Do
notes.
you like do that
John
as often still, or not as many?
So I took a really long break from vlogging. It's so cute. I took a long break from vlogging and then got back into it in February, and I
Okay.
vlogged every single day. Or like I
Almost.
vlogged every day. I didn't
Yes.
upload every day. I missed like 2 days. But yeah, so that I got back into it doing that, and that
That's
was really
awesome.
fun. So I'm gonna get back into it again post that. But I wanted to like get back into the habit of being able to vlog, but then I
Yeah.
vlogged too much, and then I was like, I need another break, and I was like, this is a cycle. I need
I,
to just.
I would
get
need a
back into
break.
it.
I would definitely need a break.
Yeah.
But I love that when you did these videos. First of all, how is Olivia?
Oh, she's Olivia's good. Olivia recently went to the doctor.
Okay.
And she has it was literally just seeing myself on Grace's podcast, and I just talk about all the things that are wrong with me, which there are so many, always internally, externally. But I'm currently on Accutane, but I'm almost done with it, which is like this crazy intense drug for your skin. But it like sucks all the oil out of your skin, and because I
Wow.
had excess swelling on one side of my nose, it's also just like speeding up like the recovery on one side, which is like it's literally taken 2 years.
Yeah.
And so there was still excess swelling on the other side, but then I was like, what do I do? And he was like, well, we can't do anything for it because you're on Accutane, so we don't want to like it's getting more swollen in the morning and less swelling at night. Like
Yeah.
that's how I know it's not just cartilage, it's like there's swelling. So I don't
Right.
want to like mess with it.
Exactly.
And so he instead, to make me feel better, put fillers on one side of my nose, which he warned me. He was like, I was like, is it gonna hurt? I have like a high pain tolerance, but I pass out all the time, like just all the time. And he was like, I mean, yes, it's definitely gonna hurt, but the thing that's most off-putting is everyone says that like it makes a sound. And I was like,
Ooh.
what do you mean
See,
it
that would-
makes a sound? He's like, it's kind of like a crunching, and I was like, what?
Oh my
okay.
gosh.
And he's like saying this to me, and I'm like, okay, well, I've committed to this.
Yeah.
Like, you've numbed me up. Like, go ahead, do it. And I can only explain it and describe it as the same feeling you would expect in the sound as if someone stuck a glow stick in your face.
No.
And it's like they're using their hands to like crack it and mold it. And it just sounds like he's breaking my nose over and over and over again. And it's like felt like that.
Oh
and
my
then I
gosh.
passed out and then woke up and then I passed out again. And then
Wow.
but she's doing good. And then
That's amazing.
Yeah. So
Olivia is what she calls.
she's my nose.
Yes.
My nose. But you can tell it's like a little less, right? I'm looking at Jack because I was like, look, it's growing. But yeah, and then in 3 months, if it's still swollen, they can go in and like slice off some cartilage.
Yeah. Well, I love, okay, instead of being one of those people who, okay, like you had a deviated septum, right?
Yeah, but I just thought it was ugly. But then
Okay.
I didn't realize this until they were like, by the way, your insurance is going to pay for this because like your nose was like, this was broken. And I was
Yeah.
like, oh, I thought it was just ugly. But thank you.
No, but I love how you were upfront and honest, and like so many people try to hide it or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
And like I love how honest and you're just so giving to your fans. Like you let that fourth wall down and everyone can kind of see what you're doing. And I love the fact that vlogs are very hard. You have to edit them every day and
Yeah.
everything like that. But the fact that you're able to kind of break down that wall. And I love the ones that you've done like with your dad.
Mm-hmm.
He's adorable.
So cute. He's so cute.
Like he loves you so
adorable.
much. You can just
I
tell.
know. He's adorable. He's so fun, and I like the honesty in the vlogs too, especially because I mean I got like no hate for getting my nose done, which
That's
never
amazing.
happened.
Right.
But as soon as my whole thing is, and I tell this to everyone who's like either new on YouTube or like getting into all this stuff, I'm like, the more honest you are and the more upfront you are, there's nothing to really hate on. Because I'm like, if you own it and you're like, yeah, like if you show you have an insecurity about something or you're
Right.
trying to hide something, people are like, oh, I'm gonna like target that. But if you're kind of like, yeah, like my nose is weird and I'm gonna go get it fixed and like here's a plastic surgeon and like super upfront, it's like, well, what can I hate on? 'Cause,
Right.
like,
It's like, well, she
you're
has it all out there.
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
being really honest. Like I can at least
Exactly.
appreciate that. Plus everyone was like, yeah, your nose was like jacked.
Oh, that's so sad.
So.
People told you that?
Oh, well, I mean, it didn't look as bad in person because you couldn't really tell as much. But if you like looked in pictures or videos where it was like well lit or whatever, you could tell
Okay.
because like my nose was just flat on the top. It was like a little butt. It was like,
Little.
so I'm very glad that I got it done.
That's awesome. Well, that's awesome. And I do want to talk about Hulu's Freakish because you
Yes.
came on, I guess like 6 months ago or so
I know.
to promote that. And that's
So
where we
fun.
first met. Thank you so much for coming back in.
Of course. I literally was asking if it was going to be you because I was like, I really hope it's him because we had so much fun.
It was so
and
fun.
I still talk about how great that interview was.
Thank you.
Because you actually watched our show and it was
Yes.
so cool. And I know we all had so much fun. It was
Good.
our favorite interview we ever did.
That is
gonna say
awesome.
that.
Thank
Yeah,
you so much
no,
for
so
saying
I was
that.
so excited.
Do we know if there's like a season 2 in the works or is it
I
still
hope
nothing?
so. I
far?
hope so. It'd be really cool. I would love that. But I mean, I personally would. I'm selfishly couldn't think of a reason why there wouldn't be.
Right.
But I mean, I also don't work at Hulu.
Right.
Which, yeah, I don't
But
know.
I think that they need to get on this so we can have it announced so we
know,
can figure it out because
right?
I'm ready.
Me too. I want
ready.
a job. Would
Right.
love a job.
Plus you get to hang out with all your friends again.
I know, and actually get paid because now we just hang out for free.
And you're like, well, this is great, but
Yeah,
can you
I'm
get
like,
paid again
come on,
for
like,
this?
or at least like throw some credits on my IMDb. I'm bored.
Exactly.
I'm just, yeah, a lot of hobbies I need to have
Yes.
right now.
Yes, here's the photo. It's really dark, but you can kind of
Oh,
see.
there's me.
You're kind of there. Yes.
Shadowy.
I-
Zoe Parker.
Yeah. What a name.
What
And
a
a name
name.
itself, yeah.
What a name.
But I want to see all those storylines play out. I want to know what's going to happen.
Me too.
Like,
no
come
clue
on.
what happens.
They don't let you know what a potential might be or anything like
no.
that.
I mean, there were definitely things because I'd never done anything that was like, I guess like that long of an episodic thing
Yeah.
where I was like a series regular in every single episode. So I hadn't done anything where we're getting new scripts so often. We got to the point where like they named scripts for like different colors, like, oh, like your blue sides, like your yellows, like pink
Yeah.
pages, all that stuff. We got to the point where there were ones I'd never heard of. They're like, Megan, do you have your goldenrods? And I was like, my goldenrods? Like, what's a goldenrod? And it's these like mustard colored pages that they hand me right before we shoot this scene. So there's so much stuff that was changing
Yeah.
of like the storyline that when I watched it, I was like, oh, that's what happened with your character in this scene? Like, I had no idea.
Yeah.
And so there's a lot of stuff that for me, I don't know what happens in it or in the end at all. And I really tried to get the writers to tell me. And they
Right.
were like, no.
You're like,
And I was
"No."
like, do you know what happens? Like, have you written it? And they're like, we're not telling. I'm like, but I want to know. So.
Exactly.
So-
Oh my gosh. I think it's well overdue. We need to get
Right.
this done. It
I
needs to
know.
happen. And you do still have cast meetups. I've seen.
Oh, all the time. Aislinn was over last night. She lived with me for like a month, which was so fun. We're supposed to see Leo tomorrow or maybe even tonight. Liza's birthday is actually today.
Yes. Oh my gosh. Happy birthday, Liza.
Yeah, she's 21. I know.
Wow.
I know. I'm like, okay. So, and we're going to Coachella together too.
Oh, that's so
I'm
cool.
like, literally gonna be like, let me sit down and have a conversation. I'm like, you have fun. I'm like not gonna take care of
Babysit.
anybody.
Yeah.
Just putting that out there.
Exactly.
But yeah, no, we see. And then Tyler's actually, he's shooting he was on an episode of Nashville, and he's shooting a feature right now he's in Atlanta, so he's gone. And Melvin is shooting season 3 of Unreal, which is out. Like, I can say that. I'm so mad. I'm like literally so jealous, like texting him, like, I hate you. And I go to all of it. He's doing a lot of Facebook Lives because I think he's really bored in Vancouver.
Right, yeah.
And he's like doing a lot of Facebook Lives, and I'm always in them. I'm like, I hate you. I miss you. And he's like, sup, Megan?
Yeah. Oh my gosh. I love his. I just watch his Instagram stories and all like behind the scenes stuff. Like he's having a blast.
Oh, and he has a persona online. Like he deep down is like a sweet, like very kind of like, he'll hate me for saying it, but he was like a gangly, awkward kid who like grew up to be like this big buff guy, but like deep down he's still this gangly, awkward kid.
Yeah.
And so he has got this like this Instagram persona where he's like, like girls, like I'm a bad guy, like what's up? And I'm like, no, you're not. You're not at all. So
I love that.
But he's funny. So everyone's doing like a lot of work stuff,
That's
which is
awesome.
cool, except for me and Aislinn was in Argentina, but now she's back, and I'm just making her sit on my couch and
So you're like, all
watercolor
right, we
with
gotta
me.
we gotta do this. But you're still pretty busy because leading up to something very awesome and new that's happening, you're coming out with your new podcast, Don't Blame Me.
Yes.
It's like advice from a fellow work in progress, right?
Yes, a fellow mess up or an F up. See, we're live. I didn't swear.
There we go.
But yeah, no, I'm so excited for that. So that'll fill my
amazing.
schedule, hopefully.
Definitely.
Which will be fun.
Definitely.
And
yes, we have the producer of it, Jack Ferry, in the studio. How are you?
Hello, I'm good, thank you.
Thanks for sitting here and watching us for a while.
That's no problem. I'm used to it at this point.
yeah,
Right,
You got
exactly.
some
We're,
solid headphones.
Yes.
Yeah, I just got here off of my helicopter.
Yeah.
So I thought I would just leave the headset on. I thought it's part of my aesthetic.
Yeah.
It is. It's a good aesthetic.
It's very
you.
good.
You're welcome.
Helicopter dude aesthetic, definitely.
Thank you.
Where can everyone find you on social media?
I'm on Twitter at JackFerry99 and on Instagram at
What?
JackFerry.
Why
Awesome.
the 99?
Yeah, yeah.
So
you've told this story before.
There's another Jack Ferry who's like who took it before me.
Is he famous?
No, not at all.
So you could have just like.
Yeah.
He's a lawyer from Lancaster County, Pennsylvania.
Oh, you know.
Oh,
That's
I know
a
him. There's like a whole like collection of like Jack Ferries.
Oh my god.
There's like a Jack Ferry group on Facebook. That I'm
Did you
part
join
of.
it?
Wow.
Yeah.
You
Cool.
yes.
What do you guys talk about?
Just what it's like being Jack Ferry.
What's it like?
Or just like another awesome day being Jack Ferry.
That is so incredible. That needs to be a podcast in its own right there.
The
Like with all the
Jacks.
guys, like all the
Jack
guests.
Ferries.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
I love it.
So
And
I had to put a number behind it, and I created a Twitter account when I was doing a show called $99 Music Videos.
Uh-huh.
So I was like, all right, well, that's it then. But on Instagram, I'm at Jack Ferry. which
Okay.
is-
That's nice.
Yeah, and then one day I'll be rich enough to buy the
At
Twitter
Jack-
handle
Oh.
from
And
the
then-
other Jack Ferry.
Yeah.
How
just
much is
buy
he
it.
selling it for?
He's not selling it at all. He's just being a jerk.
Is he tweeting?
Like occasionally.
Oh.
See, that's the thing. If
Yeah.
they tweet occasionally, you can't do anything. If it's been like I guess
Yeah.
6 months or something, you can like.
Yeah.
take
That's
it
what
over or
someone took
something.
mine.
No way.
Yeah, and they were like, oh, it was like a Meghan Rienks like fan, and they were like, we
Oh.
have it, don't worry, like we just need to be paid for it. And I was like, you're not a fan, you stole
No
this and want money.
way.
But then the account was like dead.
Oh,
And so
okay.
then Twitter was like, we'll take it. And then the Instagram
Wow.
account, I made the at Meghan Rienks one, and then like forgot the password. And they were like, we've been trying to get in contact with the person who has Meghan Rienks. I'm like, psych, it's me. I don't have that email anymore. Like we can just like, it's cool. Like I promise this was me. And they were like, okay. And I'm
Like,
like,
all right.
my bad. I'm sorry.
And they can't do that for Snapchat?
Right.
No, I have the Meghan Rienks Snapchat.
I thought you said it was it Megan.
I have okay. So I messed up.
Yeah.
Here's the story. So this was before I was like using my real name, and I was like very and this
Okay.
was also it's less about that, more about the fact this is when I had like a life outside of the internet, and I was like, I have like real friends, like I do real things, like I need my private life, like I have all of these things going on.
You
So
should
like
use this voice all the time.
all
by
of the
way.
time, just
Yes.
like very much like realizing, and you get it. And so
Yes, I do.
I have it, and I was using it for like my college friends, and now I have no college friends, and all of my friends like live on the internet or have been like forced to be in my videos, so it really doesn't matter, and everyone
Right.
knows my name, but it Megan is just what's, I want them to merge
Yeah.
and like
To sync together.
just like come together as one.
Yes. Speaking of, you guys have kind of come together as one in this next project you're doing.
We
So I want to know, what was like the first project you guys worked on together?
Oh.
I guess
Oscar's
Oscar's Hotel.
Hotel?
Yeah.
Okay.
So I was an executive producer of Oscar's Hotel, which is a series by Kick the PJ, another YouTuber. And so part of my job as the EP was to just try to get lots of cool, talented people to be involved in the show.
Yeah.
And so I hadn't really worked with Meghan, but I wanted to work with Meghan on something. So I asked her if she wanted to do it, and she was like, yeah, totally.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
And I had no idea what I was in for because I played a Rose, but the name character was Rose. I was like, Rose, cool. That's my middle name. This is fun. And I get there, and they're like making me into a flower. So I
Oh.
like had like full on like what's it, like the spray paint face spray
Yeah.
body spray face paint.
Paint.
Airbrush.
paint.
Airbrush.
There we go.
Thank you.
Yeah, there was a dress made of astroturf.
Yes.
It was pretty elaborate. It was great.
It was one of those things where like when I had to pee, I had to like have one of the costume designers. I'm like, yo, I gotta pee. She's like, okay, we'll have an assistant come help you pee
No
because
way.
it's huge, and there was like fake like applique flowers and all of this stuff. And we Mitchell Davis used to always make jokes when I would have to. He's like, oh, and there goes Meghan with her crew helping her go pee, and he was like painted red the whole time. So every time he would pee, then like his hands would he'd have to like wash his hands. I'm like, oh, did you go to the bathroom? And he's like, stop it. I'm like, two can play on this game.
That's right. That's right.
But yeah, that was the first thing we worked on, and
Yeah.
then.
And then you were also on the podcast, Not Too Deep.
Yeah.
I was.
Yes.
Megan was like
Best
one
day
of
of
our
my life.
was like one of the best guests we've had.
The best day
Where
of
do you
my
film
life.
that, by the way? Is it like in a studio or?
It is in a studio. We used to do it at the YouTube Space LA.
Okay. Yeah.
And
yeah.
then we moved it to Grace's house. And then we moved it to Grace's office. And then now we do it at full screen.
Oh, okay. Awesome.
So yeah. So we started in Playa Vista, worked our way back to the east side of Los Angeles, and then
yeah.
back to
Wow.
Playa Vista again.
Well, you guys have like, it seems like you have a total blast. Like that is just so fun.
So fun. It's like
the greatest.
yeah, it's like the funnest show to work on.
I want to live there. I also
Just, like,
love her
watch.
to the point where like I don't know, like we've hung out since. It was great. I just don't know if we can be friends because I'm fangirling too hard the whole time. Like I just like I don't have a chill. Like there's no meter of it. I just try too hard.
Try.
Every day is an audition to be her friend. And my friend Lily is like, dude, cut it out. I'm sorry.
You're like, I'm sorry, I'm just fangirling.
Yeah, I
That's
don't know how to
amazing.
be a normal
But
human.
you were a great guest. It was a really funny interview.
I had so much. I blacked out. I walked out of there. I was like, I don't know anything that I said. Was that bad?
That's like the scariest thing when you don't know what you said because you're
Yeah.
like, I need to watch this back ASAP and figure out what
just
went
a
down.
lot of word
Oh,
vomit.
that happens to me. Yeah, for sure.
That's so much fun. Where did you guys get the idea? Like, where did you guys come up with the idea? Did he pitch it to you, or did you were just talking one day and it came about for the new podcast?
I mean, I knew Megan was always doing like advice videos and stuff like that.
Yes.
And she said she wanted to do a podcast, and I've kind of become known as like the podcast guy.
Yeah, yeah.
In like the community, so I was like, yeah, I can help you put it together. And we started talking about it like a while ago.
Yeah,
Like,
and it was a whole different concept.
It was like 2 years ago we started
Wow.
talking
Yeah.
about it.
My
But
gosh.
again, it was just very casual.
Yeah.
And then after a while, I was like, well, look, if we're going to do this, let's just do
Yeah.
it. And so we narrowed in on a title, and that's it. And so
Yeah.
we're hopefully going to be launching it like next month.
That's incredible.
Very excited.
That's awesome.
It was originally going to have a segment of me dating people. And then I think Jack Ferry was the first person I told when I
Yeah.
started dating my boyfriend, who like nobody else knew.
Yeah.
But I was like, so I don't know if we can do like a dating segment because I'm like kind of dating someone.
Yeah.
And you like full on, it was like a therapy session where you're
Yeah.
like, it's okay, that's fine, but like you like let's talk about this. Like you're
Yeah.
gonna tell me who it is. I'm like, oh my god. And it was
Yes.
Yeah.
Speaking of, you finally like come out
I
publicly.
know. And Melvin kind of like spilled the beans here last time we were
Yes,
here,
it's so
which
funny.
was so funny.
I know you were here, and like at this point, your relationship was private, and then all of a sudden, I was like, I didn't catch it at first because I was like, why is everyone laughing? Like I'm trying to get everybody back on track.
Oh, you did an amazing job at that,
Thank
by
you.
the way, because Melvin
you.
said something about how he said something like, oh, and then like Megan's boyfriend came on set or something about like Megan's boyfriend. And the second he just ends the D in friend, he
He's like-
realizes it and looks down. And Leo's there like,
and
like-
you're just like,
I'm just like, and you're like getting it back on track completely. And Melvin's just like staring. He's like, I'm going to die.
Why was it such a secret?
yeah.
It's all my fault. Like he was stoked when that came out, by the way.
I'm
He's like,
sure.
now everyone's gonna know we're dating, score. And I was like, okay. I was weird about it. We like knew each other for a while and we had worked together before.
Mm-hmm.
So for me, there was like that nervous thing where like it was also one of those things like everyone already thought we were dating. And I spent so long telling everyone like, we're not dating because
Yeah.
we weren't. And then we started dating. I was like, damn, everyone's right. Like now I have to go back and be like, okay, remember when I said we weren't dating? Like now we are, but we weren't back then. And, like,
Right.
all that stuff. And I'm also like weird with like feelings and
Yeah.
things, and I'm a great girlfriend now, but I originally was like, oh, let's like not put like names and stuff, and like you can date other people and like
No
all that stuff.
way.
And he was like, are you kidding? I'm like, I just like emotions are Yeah, I don't know. I'm great now.
Yeah.
I think.
So you're in an open relationship. That's what you're saying.
Oh, no. Also, I would like kill him, but I was just back. Yeah, I was very much like, it's cool. Like, don't worry. Like, I'm never gonna whatever. And now I'm like, just
After now it's out, and then you're just because I remember you were working with like a collaboration where you were in pajamas.
Yes.
And I remember you said, "Oh, and I made my boyfriend do this," and I was like, "Wait a minute," because I got your back. I stayed silent. I didn't tell anybody. I didn't post anything because like at AfterBuzz Popcorn Talk, like if someone says something on our show that's like news, like one time Sarah Hyland's boyfriend Dominic Sherwood came in and they were gonna go skydiving on Valentine's Day, and I wrote up a press release, and like I was the first on the scene.
So thank you
and so
for
I
not
was like,
making
I got your back.
Not that I'm that cool, but no, yeah. So I revealed that we were dating in a video where I did like telling secrets about me. So I went through and told like I think I did 10 between 7 and 10 like legitimate secrets and things that people because those like Q&As where it's like let me tell you a secret and it's like secret like I can do this and everyone's like great you know how to like say the alphabet backwards. Granted, one of my secrets was that I can like recite the Greek alphabet, which I did terribly. Wow. And everyone's like great effort but like wrong, and I was like cool. And so I had and then the last one was like I have a boyfriend. He just like sat up in the background of the video and I didn't make it the thumbnail and I didn't do anything with it. So then all the comments were like, oh my god, didn't you watch to the end? Like wait, what? Like is this real? And the video just ends. And so I like never made like the big announcement, and then I just like threw him into all of it. Makes it easier because now I can like snap. It was so hard to like, and he would get offended when I would be like, "Hey, you're in my Snapchat." I'm terrible, but I'm good now.
Okay,
so like,
I'm glad everything's good now.
Yeah,
it was for the better, I guess.
Yes, it was.
Now, and that's amazing. He seems like very sweet.
He's the greatest.
Yeah.
He's cute. He's
that's
adorable.
Awesome. So whenever you guys do this podcast, are you going to kind of cross over and like, are we going to hear you in the podcast too?
I think most likely.
I think,
just like kind of come in every once in a
I
while.
mean, it's still Megan's show. But, but yeah, I have a feeling I won't be able to shut up.
No, I was like, I also feel like there's going to be things that are very interesting in the sense of like wanting other people's opinions too, which I think will be fun.
So it'll be like, hey, like, what do you think of this? Yeah.
Yeah, and I feel like there's no way if like something ridiculous happens, you're gonna be able to just be like quiet.
Oh, that's for sure.
Yeah. Like 100, like not at all.
But I've watched your advice videos in the past, and they're usually really good. I mean,
usually.
Seriously.
Only every once in a while do you give some questionable advice.
Like what? Which one did I give questionable advice? Well,
I mean, what I like about it is you're very practical. You're like, you acknowledge the fact that, like, yes, you're a young person. You might be in high school or even younger. We acknowledge the fact that, like, you're going to have sex anyway. So let's at least talk about a way to, like,
get pregnant.
Be safe about it.
Yeah.
Which I think is great. And I think a lot of people, and that's one of the reasons why I wanted to do this show, because a lot of, like, the advice, like, podcasts are hosted by people who are well into adulthood. Mm-hmm. And you're close enough to being the age of some of these kids that have been calling in regularly.
Yeah.
And that it's not that distant for you to be able to say, like, I remember what it was like. It was just a couple of years ago, and I know how this felt, so I can kind of speak from your perspective. But I like because you're in that perfect age where you can kind of bridge the gap. Because I also feel like adults can call in too and say, like, my kid is being insane.
Yeah.
No kidding.
And I'm like, they're on drugs.
Yeah.
You might want to get them.
Look at that.
Right.
Yeah.
Check it out.
Yeah. So I think it's cool because, you know, you're like really honest about it.
Yes. Yeah.
Yeah, far too honest. My friends, some of my friends won't ask me advice about specific things and won't tell me about specific things in their lives because they're like, well, I know what you're gonna say. So I'm like, so you do agree with me?
Yeah.
Like you think that this is a stupid idea. And they won't tell me if they like go back and start seeing a guy that they've like seen before. Because they're like, they don't want the I told you so moment.
Right.
So they'll like selectively ask for my advice when they want
And you'll
it
be like,
for
oh,
specific
hold on,
things.
what's going on here?
Yeah,
and
I'm
then
like,
you can
so
kind of figure
what
it out.
about this? I saw something on Facebook. And they're like, wait. I'm like, okay, have fun with that.
Yeah.
It's terrible. It's terrible. Don't do
Well,
it.
I love how honest you are because a lot of people on advice videos, they just kind of do the blanket thing where they're like, okay, like, yeah, you should do this, or I think this about this, and they move on so quickly. And like, I love how, you know, like in the video that whenever you announced it, the things you were saying, like you didn't just give an answer, like you really thoughtfully did it as if they were your friend. Like, look, you need to make sure this is okay. And like the way that you said everything, it was like a big sister or even just like a sister or like a cousin that you would want to sit down and talk to. So that's why I think it's going to be so successful, is because you do give those real answers. And if someone asks a question, instead of like trying to be 100% like candy coat everything.
Yeah.
You're like, no, you need to look at that because what you're doing is maybe not.
Yeah. Which I've always been like that. So I'm excited, and I hope people are ready for it, because it's definitely not sugar coated, and it's like definitely really honest.
Yeah.
Which I've been told it's a lot of tough love.
Yeah.
Which sometimes my boyfriend won't want to talk about something. I'm like, well, do you want to hear my advice? He's like, no, because you're gonna be mean. And I'm like, okay, cool. I won't talk about it.
That's what's important about it, I think.
I think so too.
You have to be, because somebody asked me, they were like, well, you know, why is Meghan doing an advice podcast? Like, basically, they were asking me, like,
why is she qualified?
What's her qualification?
Yeah.
And I was like, I don't know if you know this, but no one's qualified.
Yes.
Exactly.
And I think that's the thing,
there's no, like, advice school you go to.
No, and even then, like, if you're, like, talking to professionals, they have you get to the own answer of it. And so much of the time when you're asking someone advice on something, you kind of have an idea of it. But for me, at least, like, I want someone's opinion. I don't want someone to just, like, talk it out with me and have, like, me find it. Like, I genuinely want someone else's opinion on this to be like, hey, I know we're not friends, but, like, and I'll do it to my real friends in general, too. Like, I'll tell them, like, by the way, like, you were in the wrong. Like, I love you, and I'm saying this because, like, you were in the wrong. Like, this was terrible. You shouldn't have done this. And I think it also, like, makes people accountable for things. And I would want someone to do that for me. Like, if I did something so mean, like, I don't want to, like, end up, like, growing up and it's like pretending I'm not a grown-up. I'm not. Like, growing up and becoming a terrible person because no one told me that, like, I was being terrible. Like, I want someone to tell me, like, hey, you're being terrible, because then I won't be permanently terrible.
Exactly.
I just don't want to be terrible.
She doesn't want to be terrible.
I just don't want to be a bad human.
That's a great
I love that.
Yeah, like, I just don't want to be terrible. And so, like, I need people in my life who are going to, like, keep me in check and, like, tell me if I'm being, like, bad. I just want to be a good person.
I love that. I love it. It's real, and it's exactly what people need to strive for, and it's a simple thing that most people don't get.
Just don't be a sucky person.
Exactly. Now, is this going to be just audio, or is it going to be filmed for YouTube as well as for iTunes, or where's it streaming, all this kind of stuff?
For now, we're just doing audio.
Okay.
Yeah.
Love it. A lot of sweatpants.
Right.
A lot of glasses. A lot of no makeup.
Love it.
So many pajamas.
Are you going to, so it's going to be on iTunes?
It will be available on iTunes.
Okay.
It'll be available wherever people get their podcasts.
Okay, awesome.
Yeah.
That's super, super cool. That's amazing. Well, if you ever wanted to make it like a video component in the future, I know that they like rent out some of the studios, like Ross Matthews.
Oh my,
the red carpet host. He does his straight talk here.
Oh.
And so sometimes I'll be like, coming out of one of my shows, and he'll be like, this little high pitched voice, like, hey, how are you? And I'm like, that's Ross Matthews.
Really good, by the way.
Thank you.
He's also living my dream life, living in Palm Springs with old people, playing bingo and shuffle, and like not interacting with like other humans who are under the age of 75 and going to bed at like 8 p.m. Listen to him on Grace's podcast. I was like, this is my dream. And I had friends text me like, are you listening to Ross Matthews on Grace's podcast? Because it's you in 2 years. I'm like, yes.
It does sound like the dream.
Oh,
Palm
that would
Springs.
be... I mean, it's too hot for me, but like that is my dream to like move.
Palm Springs is
too
the
hot.
best.
Too hot. I love Palm Springs, but it's too hot. I want to move
to
like
pool.
Right.
I want to move to like the Hamptons and be Ina Garden and like have like a specialty store where I sell like $9 brownies and like
there we go.
artisanal like jams.
Right. If you
like,
want to live in the Hamptons, I know that the Kardashians are selling, or like they're on the market. That's like 12.75 million right now for their little for their
freakish
Hamptons extraordinary place that they had there. I know it like went down $1 million like last week apparently.
Great.
So,
well, I've got $13 million burning a hole in my pocket.
And so you love a good sale.
I love a good sale.
It's $1 million off. I mean, how can you say no?
It's like a big discount.
Yes.
Super big.
So whenever you guys are doing this, is there any topics that are going to be like off the table that you don't talk about, or is it just very honest? If people send in stuff, you're going to answer it?
I mean, so when we first posted the announcement video, we got 300 voicemails.
Did we?
No way.
Oh, I haven't heard this.
Yes.
Whoa.
300?
So there's a lot to choose from. And obviously, we can only do so many per episode, and a lot of them are a little repetitive.
Well, that was the same thing that happened when I was doing the video with like so many of these questions where girls being like, I'm 20 years old and I've never kissed a boy. And I was like, yo, by the way, like 35 of you sent in the same question. So like, you're not the only, like, I feel like I'm the only one. I'm like, well, I can literally tell you you're not.
Yeah.
So.
You're like Katie, Rebecca,
Sarah, Samantha.
All of them.
Yeah, so there's a lot of that. So I try to choose, interesting questions for her to answer, obviously. And I think eventually when we sort of do it longer, we'll get into themes.
Yeah.
And, depending. But right now we're just going to take a sort of a variety at first.
Yeah.
Just to sort of see where that goes.
Yeah.
But what's cool about it is because we've got the opportunity to sort of select the best questions, I feel like people are going to kind of learn, like, these are the kinds of questions that she likes. These are the kinds of, this is how much context I should provide. Because it really runs the gamut from, people leaving these long, elaborate stories, trying to give as much detail as possible, and it's kind of hard to follow.
Right.
And then other people being like, I'm single and lonely. Can you help me? Thanks, bye.
Yeah.
And it's like,
bye. I can't help
there's not
you.
much to do with.
Yeah.
You can't really help with that kind of
Exactly. You need at least, not like a million details, but you need some kind of details. Then it's easier to answer because you're like, okay, this is happening. Well, this is what you need to do.
Because I always ask clarifying questions too, to like even my friends. I'm like, so if this means this, but like, what is this? And then people like try and hide certain facts. I'm like, no, tell me what that means because then I can tell you. Like,
Otherwise,
are you trying to make yourself sound better?
Yeah.
Or like, are you giving him like way too much credit and he's really terrible?
Right.
That you're just like not bringing it up.
And I love how on the video where you announced it, you were clarifying with, you're like, if this is any kind of an abusive relationship at all, like leave.
Yeah.
Because, sometimes people will leave out those details and then you may give advice and then they'll take it, but then they didn't tell you the real thing. And then you're
so
like.
I think when it comes to stuff like that, where it's like super heavy and super serious, I think there's always that kind of like blanket statement that it's like, if this is anything that's like super extreme or if anyone's in like physical harm and danger and that whole thing where it's like if someone's hurting themselves or hurting others, this is something where like seeking professional help. But I think there's also that sort of thing where some people, especially when it comes to like toxic relationships or things like that, some people see things as like abusive relationships and all those things, and if their relationship is still like really crappy but it's not that bad, they kind of like settle with other things. So I think it's actually kind of cool to be able to talk to people and like answer advice questions when it comes to relationships that aren't awesome, but some people kind of justify them because they're not as bad as they could be. And so I think it's kind of it's nice to be able to talk about those sort of things too and have them be like, you can be in a really crappy relationship even if it's not like the worst it could be, but like let's be happy it's not the worst it could be, but like it still can be bad. Like that still might be still on like on the spectrum of like kind of terrible. So that's cool, but like leave from that.
I know I have a few friends in mind right now that I think I'm going to forward the
Oh,
or
yeah.
on iTunes you can like gift
like
podcast or like gift a song.
Right.
I'm gonna be like, I'm
so
gonna
and so
gift
has
this to
shared
you.
this podcast with you. They think you'll like it. They recommended it.
I recommend it. So they're gonna be like, wait, what's this? And then hopefully they'll realize they need to
people
leave.
need to stop dating terrible people.
I know.
I mean, I dated terrible people for a really long time, and I also just didn't realize people were terrible. And then until I dated someone who wasn't terrible, and I was like, what was I do? I wasted so much time. Like, what was I doing?
Yeah.
Granted, like, so glad he's here, and like he's fine. Like, we're solid.
Good.
But I would have been able to date other people who weren't terrible if I realized.
And I'm still trying to look for a girl who's not terrible.
Yeah,
to be honest.
People. I mean, I've got single friends.
Okay, all right. Well,
Great,
yeah,
cool.
we'll talk after.
Amazing.
So where are you guys going to be filming this? Is this or not filming, but where are you guys going to be recording this? Is it going to be in a studio or starting off at your home or
In my house.
That's so
I love
fun.
it. I don't even have to leave.
It's so comfy.
My house. So comfy.
Yeah, I've got like a lot of portable recording gear, and
That's awesome.
The material is so like it's so accessible now that it's really easy to just like get the equipment and then just I got like 2 bags worth of stuff, and then we show up and
Mary
set
Poppins.
it up, and there you go. By the way, we should probably mention how people can.
Oh, that's a good
leave
idea.
a question.
Yeah.
They call a phone number,
That's
which
right.
Jack, do you want to say the phone
Which
number?
you know.
Oh, I don't even remember my own passcode. Oh,
You can't read
You
that?
need to read for
It's 310-694-0976.
and
Awesome.
again.
310-694-0976.
All right.
You really can't read this?
I have an appointment for LASIK. It's 310-694-0976.
Yeah, you got
There
it.
we go. See?
I have an appointment for LASIK on Saturday.
So maybe after
8
that she'll
a.m.
be able to.
Oh,
Ooh.
perfect.
I've scammed my friend, and we have 2 birthday parties tonight, but I told my friend, I was like, let's have a sleepover tonight. Like, it'll be so much fun. And he's like, yeah, that'll be great. Like, sleepover, great. Because my boyfriend's out of town. He's like, this is going to be so great. But I haven't told him that I'm making him sleep over because I'm going to wake him up at 7 a.m. and we're going to go to my LASIK eye appointment
That's
while he's
amazing.
hungover.
Are you getting LASIK done tomorrow?
No, I'm going
You're
for
getting
the
like a consult.
consultation.
Okay.
I went to I went to one LASIK consultation, and they're like the ones who do all the celebrities, and it's like everyone on my team is like, you have to go to the top of the line, and I'm like, okay, cool. I know you rep like really famous people, but like I don't have $12,000
Oh
to
my
spend on my
gosh.
eyeballs, which
Seriously.
is insane. So I'm like instead found this other guy on Yelp, which
Oh,
like sounds
no.
scary.
I found him
He's
on Craigslist. It's fine.
Great reviews. So now I'm meeting him to like compare prices.
Okay.
Anyway, I got a Groupon.
Yeah.
Oh my!
That's
The
a
medical
big-
procedures on Groupon scare me so much.
That's a big no-no.
Yes, like don't do it, guys. Yeah.
But that's kind of scary. Like, I feel like you should film.
Oh, I'm
this.
going to.
Okay, good.
I know, right?
That's like.
I feel like, can
YouTube
I write it
gold.
off for taxes if I film it?
I'm sure.
I'm not an accountant. Why are you asking
mean,
me?
I'm
Why would I
sure.
know this?
Hey, IRS, don't come for me. No, but I want to film it. But I'm scared of it because they slice your eyeballs.
They
open.
literally slice them.
Yeah,
open.
you're awake the whole time.
I don't want it to. No, I won't because we know me. I'll pass out.
I'm told
Yeah, that's
it
true.
only takes like 2 minutes.
What?
Yeah.
But it's like
Really?
lasers.
Yeah.
Like they laser your eyeballs.
I'm told.
So-
I'm told they like you take something that kind of makes you like happy, and then
Love it.
And then
Already
they,
doing it.
Then they slice your eye up. They lift it up. They do something to it. They put it back. And
Oh.
2 minutes later, you're done.
And then you get those really cool sunglasses, so you're
Oh,
fine.
hell yeah.
Yeah.
I'm about
Yes.
that. And also, like, I just have the most temperamental eyeballs in the world. Like, it took me, like, I have to take my contact in and out, like, 300 times
Wow.
a day. Because they get dust on them, because I have severe dust allergies, and I have dry eyes. But, like, I have an issue with, like, eye drops, and how am I alive? Is that the
I'm just
question?
saying you're a bad candidate for LASIK. Though,
No, I'm not. I'm a great candidate for LASIK.
okay.
Because
'Cause I think it makes your eyes drier after you get it done.
Ooh.
Yeah, but then I
I've
can use my issue is I have allergic reactions to eye drops. So like I have dry eyes and my contacts will just like fall out.
Yeah.
Are
Which
you
they
allergic
do.
to the sun too? What's
Funny enough, I have I have contact dermatitis, which just means like my skin like flares up and will get hives from like being in contact with like physical things, or if they get too hot or too cold.
So basically, all you need to do is just sit in your home, record the podcast, be
Yeah,
in sweatpants.
so I'm-
then you don't have to
Oh,
go out into the outside
that's all
world.
that's all she wants to
That's
do.
all I want to do ever.
That's
I want to
incredible.
go to work. I want to be on a show, and I want to go to the work of the show, the day on the set, in sweatpants, and then I want someone else to do my hair and makeup, and I want to do my job, and then I want to get out of my clothes and back in my sweatpants and go back home, and then spend my weekends watching the Food Network
That's amazing.
and not leaving my house.
That's so fun.
I love it. I
that's-
love not leaving my house.
I know. I've recently discovered that now because yesterday I went to Santa Monica and I was like, ooh, getting out into the
Ooh.
sun,
Ooh, that's
going and walking from
Ooh, sun-
Santa
yeah.
Monica to Venice and back.
No, I could go days without seeing the sun, which
Yeah.
is bad.
Ugh.
I could just
That's
look
so
at
sad.
I know.
I know, but I don't like interacting with people unless I'm with people I know. Do you
Yeah.
know what I mean? Like I
No,
don't
yeah.
like going out by myself. Not that I think I'm famous or people are following me or watching me. I just like I feel like I have the most awkward social encounters with people, like always. And so if someone's with me, it's like I feel a little better about it. Which anyone can testify. Like Liza constantly tells me that like she's like, you are the most like uncomfortable person to talk to. Just like anyone, like a waiter at a restaurant. She's like, you just like don't stop. You think everything's a stand-up routine and no one's laughing and you don't stop. And it's so embarrassing and awkward. And I need support around me for friends who can be like, stop talking or like laugh.
Yeah.
I just make people uncomfortable all the time.
I don't know why, because you're like the easiest person to talk to. Like most people are very standoffish, you're quiet, and like you're just like, hey, what's up? And you're friendly, and you make everyone feel
Word
comfortable.
vomit. I just share too much. I'm an overshare. And this works, though, because we're having a conversation. Because
Right.
most of the time people think I'm, like, being sarcastic. I am being sarcastic. Like, people think I'm just, like, really mean, which I get a lot.
Really?
Yeah.
I don't get that.
Really?
I don't
Leo,
get that either.
the entire cast of Freakish, when I walked in, they were like, this girl's gonna be the worst. Like,
Really?
even Leo said he hated me at first. And he thought I was, like, and then he just realized that I was, like, being self-deprecating and, like, they realized I was sounding funny. And I was
Okay.
like, I'm so glad you came to your senses.
You came to your senses and liked me.
Yeah, but
Goodness. Judging the book before.
I know,
Yep.
right?
Crazy.
It's okay. It's okay.
But for the show, is it going to be like, I know right now it's like the advice-based questions, but are there different segments? Like we're going to be talking about this, or I know you said you probably will get to that eventually.
Yeah,
Well,
for
we've got more.
right now we're focusing on the people calling in and giving advice. But yeah, we're talking about having some guests on at some point.
Oh, that's
and-
fun.
Yeah. I think it's one of those things where doing podcasts are really cool because it's such an intimate experience. You know, like a video is very performative, and podcasts tend to be longer.
Yeah.
And people generally listen to it like on headphones, like when they're on a commute in their cars,
Yeah.
like on the bus, things like that. So it becomes this very intimate thing. And I think what's interesting about it is because it's so easy to do, you can like crank out 100 episodes without even realizing it.
Yeah.
Because it's not like doing a video where you have to like toil over the edits and things like that. It's a lot more fluid and whatever.
Right.
And so because of that, I feel like you can let things evolve very naturally, which is what we've been doing with Grace's show, which is a much more elaborate show because we've kind of always filmed it from the beginning. With this, I feel like what's nice is let's start with this,
Right.
and let's see where it kind of takes us. But we're already talking about doing like themed episodes, having guests on, but it's always going to revolve around the advice.
That's amazing. Yeah.
I want to have my friend on and get her a boyfriend.
There you go.
Yeah.
And you can
And just
have
like
people.
I want to like make over her social media. I did that last night. I used my own advice to make over one of my friends' social media profiles because we have to have her on. She has officially been on. So I thought my best friend from back home, hi Sydney, she's probably not watching this because she isn't a job. And she usually goes on the worst dates ever, and they're all named Michael, which is freaky.
Ooh,
like
that's
5 of them
weird.
all named Michael. And it's also like, I love her to death, been best friends since we were a little kid. She gives everyone too many chances. Like, she goes on these dates with these terrible guys, and they do all these terrible things, and then they break up with her eventually because they're like, how did you still date me? I'm terrible. And I'm like, what are you doing? So I thought she was the worst with dating, but my friend just went on the worst date in the entire world, which it rivals any date that I've been on, which I've been on some pretty bad dates. So I want to have her on super bad to talk about it, about like dating apps and stuff. But then I have another friend who I would love to be able to do like a segment that kind of like spans, like we talked about this, where it spans a couple episodes where it's like going over what her dating profiles are like and like what she's looking for. And like, I want to do something where I'm like in her ear feeding her lines as she's like with a guy or something.
That would be incredible.
So I think that would be fun.
We're definitely going to do things like that, like Tinder makeovers. So Meghan is actually, as it turns out, kind of a Tinder makeover expert.
There we go.
Any dating profile, really.
I've never done any dating
specifically,
profiles.
one of my best friends, Mitchell Davis.
I'm the reason he's in a relationship.
You're what?
Am I allowed to say that?
Yeah, I think you can say that.
Okay,
yeah, because
well, we did it.
he had a Tinder profile. He was like, I don't like Tinder. It doesn't work for me. And she was like, well, let me see your profile. And then she was like, okay, you're doing this all wrong. This photo's no good. You got to change this, that. Went over all these ideas that she had. And he's like, okay, whatever, fuck it. I'm just gonna. Oh, sorry, I'm not allowed to curse.
It's all right. It's all good.
He's like, okay, fine. I'll incorporate some of your ideas or whatever. And he was like, wow. Immediately, he started getting better responses.
There we go.
And he was like, he's like, Meghan is a genius.
I
Wow.
am a genius.
Yeah.
That's a whole segment itself, Tinder makeover. I love it.
Yeah, and I think that because so many of the questions we get are about relationships, breakups, I have a crush on somebody, they don't like me back, etc., etc. I got friend zoned, whatever. It lends itself to that anyway.
Yeah.
So I think that'd be really fun to have somebody on and be like, and without any like prep, just be like, open up your Tinder profile, let's talk through this.
Yeah.
Well, it's funny to be able to see, like, this is the worst. It sounds so bad. The worst is when I'll see, like, a really good friend of mine, like, someone who I love, who I'm so honest with, when their dating profile is so earnest, I'm like, this is so embarrassing. Like, you need to poke fun at this and kind of, like, be in on the joke of the fact that you're on a dating profile. But if you go into this being, like, saying, like this just very genuine things about you, like, hi, I'm a bookworm. I love, like, a long walk on the beach and things like that. I'm like, no, I know you, like, but it's true. I'm like, yeah, but you, no, this is, like,
This is not
if
good.
I saw, because how I go approach, like, how people have, like, dating profiles and things like that, I think it doesn't matter your gender at all. I think you should have your profile, the kind of profile that you would want to see someone else have, as opposed to, like, trying to make it what you would want, what you think other people want to hear. I'm like, make it what you want to hear. Like, make it what you want other people to have, because that attracts, like, especially when you have it be, like, not so obvious and, like, a little bit of, like, wink, wink, nudge, nudge kind of jokes things. I'm like, that's how you weed out the people who are stupid, dude, because they're not going to get what you're saying. I'm like, don't hand it to them on a silver platter. Like, make them work for it and then be like, oh, I decoded what it meant. And, like, you like this or whatever.
Exactly.
Great. And, like, in mine, I said my bio used to be, when I was on dating profiles, because I also used to, like, really want to make sure, like, no offense to everyone, like, height was a thing for me.
Yeah.
Like, I'm like, let's discuss height. I told my boyfriend all the time, like, if you were shorter than me, like, we never would have. And he's like, what? And I was like,
oh, so you got, like, a height floor requirement.
yeah. So one of the sections
what's the height level that's a minimum
just
for you?
taller than me.
Which is what?
Well, okay. Well, if anyone who's a casting director is watching, my IMDb height is 5'7", and my real height is like 5'9" ish, like ish. But I used to say one of the lines in my bio was taller than Mila Kunis, shorter than Shaq. So I would want people to, like, be like, oh, how tall are you? But it would also, like, weed out guys who were, like, short automatically, because that's also a thing. Like, I've, like, gone on dates with guys who are, like, shorter than me, and they'll, like, be mad at me for being tall just
and
as
say,
much.
hey, like,
yeah, I'm like, yeah, you're right. Like, I wish I was, like, a cute little petite thing, but I'm not. I'm a green bean. So, and you're not the green bean. So we can equally be like, great, let's not be like this.
Right.
But so that's what was one of the things that I used to have in there. Because I think, like, if you've got deal breakers, you should also, like, lightweight include that. Yeah. Like, if you're, my favorite, though, is I have a lot of friends who they'll, like, talk to a guy on a dating app, and they'll be like, oh, where do you live? And I'll be like, oh, I live in Silver Lake. They're like, yeah, no, I'm in Marina. Like, it was nice talking to you. I'm like, you literally weed them out purely based on, like, that commute. Brutal. Not even going to try it. I was like, that's so funny to me.
Semi-long distance, it's over. Yeah. It's canceled.
I love it.
Oh my gosh, that's hilarious. Well, I think they're making us wrap soon, but I did want to say, you guys are going to film or record this today, right?
Yeah, we're recording.
Are you
today.
recording one today or, like, multiples today?
We're recording one episode today.
Okay.
Yeah.
And you think it'll be out soonish?
Yeah, we haven't announced our launch date just
Okay.
yet, but it will be out in April.
It's amazing. Well, you guys can catch it. It's going to be called Don't Blame Me, and it's going to be on iTunes, anywhere else you can get podcasts. And again, where can everyone find you on social media?
I'm Jack Ferry 99 on Twitter and Jack Ferry on Instagram.
All right. And I did want to say really quick before we go, ever since the last interview, I've started the whole like aesthetic thing
On Instagram?
And I'm sorry, it is the white thing like you do. It's so
don't
fun.
be sorry. Isn't it? It is fun. I like sometimes being put in a box and being able to like figure out what I want to do. If I have too much creative freedom, it's bad.
Yeah.
So like put yourself in a little box and you just get to like run around in the box.
Love it. I love it. And where can everyone find you on social media?
At Meghan Rienks and Meghan on Snapchat, which is a lot of double chain pictures and a lot of me with the meerkat filter. I am killing it. My comedy with the meerkat filter, I've been saving everything. I've never been funnier. I'm giving up acting to become a voice actor for a meerkat.
I love it.
So
That's
good.
incredible. And you guys can find me on Instagram, Twitter, and YouTube at Mr. Dakota T. Jones. Thanks again for joining us, guys. It was so much fun.
So much fun. You're my favorite.
Oh, thank you. You guys are awesome. And I did want to say next week we are going to have Ray Diaz on. He just got on the new show, or Lopez, with George Lopez. So that's super fun. So you guys are going to have to check that out. Thanks again for joining us. We love you so much, and we will talk to you next week.
Bye. So many cameras.
There's so many, yeah.
So many cameras.
From producers Maria Menounos, Kevin Undergaro, Phil Svitek, Kristian Harloff, and the entire Popcorn Talk Network, we would like to thank you for tuning in. For questions or comments, be sure to visit popcorntalk.com. I'm Sir Richard Wentworth, and this has been a presentation of the Popcorn Talk Network. The views expressed herein are those of the hosts only and do not necessarily reflect the views of the Popcorn Talk Network or its owners or principals.